Hello guys, welcome back again to our next class. In today's class we're gonna start with a vocabulary topic. So yesterday we had a lecture, and in that lecture there were some highlighted words. These highlighted words normally have positive or negative meanings. So what we're gonna do is that we're gonna check if these words have positive or negative meanings. So let's see, the first word that we have here is self-centered. If we go to the line 34, 35, here we have it, self-centered. Here it says, I didn't get on so well with Fernando. I thought he was really self-centered. With this, do you think that this is a positive or a negative word? Yes, I think that it has a negative meaning. So pause the video, do the exercise, and play it back again so that you can see the answers. All done? Very good. Here are the answers so that you can corroborate them. And let's move on. In the next exercise, we're going to practice these words. Here we have some sentences. The bold words in the sentences mean the same as some of these other words. For example, my ideal friend will have to be someone caring and dependable. Caring. Which of these words would you say that is similar to caring? Yes, sensitive. Remember, sensitive and caring mean that someone takes care of someone else and not just of themselves. Okay, so let's do the exercise. Change these words from the sentences. Remember to use a dictionary, guys. You have many dictionaries on the internet. I recommend you the Cambridge Dictionary and Macmillan Dictionary, but please use them so that you can do this exercise. Don't use translators. Use English dictionaries. Okay, when you finish, I will show you the answers. Well done. So here are the answers so that you can corroborate. As you can see, dependable is the same as trustworthy. Level-headed is the same as sensible. Relaxed is the same as laid back. Then unfriendly is standoffish. Then tolerant is the same as open-minded. And like that with the rest of the answers. Very good. If you didn't understand one word or something, you can check on the internet or you can ask me, okay? You can send me a message telling me, teacher, I didn't understand what this word mean. Could you explain it to me? And of course, I will do so. Very good. Now, for the next exercise, you will have to work with a partner. It says, can you identify with any of these sentences above? Discuss with your partner. For example, in the letter C says, I'll say I feel relaxed about work. I never let things bother me. Do you identify with this sentence or not? Are you this type of person? So take your time, call your classmates, and do the exercise. When you finish, we'll continue with the pronunciation topic. Right? Now, in the pronunciation topic, we have the first exercise that says, mark the stress on each of the adjectives in the box. So we have these words over here. You have to mark the stress of each word. For example, compatible. What will be the stress in this word? Compatible. Yes, path. Compatible. Path. Very good. Like that, do it, and when you finish, I will play the audio so that you can corroborate your answers. All done? Here goes the audio. Pay attention.
Track 2.16.
Compatible. Flexible. Friendly. Generous. Happy. Lively. Mature. Sad. sensitive, weak,
Alright? Now you can play this audio again and again so that you can check your answers. Anyway, let's do it all together. For example, flexible. Where is the stress sound in flexible? That's right, in the first syllable, flex. Then in friendly, friend. Well done. Generous, generous. Very good. Then happy, happy. Well done. Then lively, mature. In this case, it's not in the first syllable, it's in the last one. It's in the last one. Mature. Then sad. It's just one syllable. That's easy. But then we have sensitive. Sensitive. And finally, we have weak. All right. Now, in the exercise number 2, it says match the adjectives in exercise 1 into nouns by adding the suffixes ity or ness. Use your dictionary if necessary. So, for the words that we have here, like compatible, you can add the suffixes ity or ness. Choose which is the correct suffix for these words. For example, from compatible, would you say that is ity or ness? Very good, ity. That's why it's compatibility. So do it, and when you finish, I will play the audio so that you can check if you were right or not. Okay, here goes the audio.
Track 2.17.
Compatibility, flexibility, friendliness, generosity, happiness, liveliness, maturity, sadness, sensitivity, weakness.
Well done, guys. Now I'm gonna give you the answer so that you can double check. Here they are. Nice. Now in the number 3 they ask us, what is the effect on the word stress when you change the adjective into a noun ending in ity? For example, when we have an adjective like happy and if we change it to a noun, we know that it is happiness. The stress sound is the same, happy, happiness, it doesn't change. But what happens with a word like flexible? That we know that when you change it to noun, it's flexibility. The stress sound changes, okay? When you have flexible, the stress is on the first syllable, flex. But when you say flexibility, the stress changes to the syllable before ity. Flexibility, flexibility, okay? Now, if we take a look to the answers, we can see that all the words that end in ity, the stress is the syllable before that one. Compatibility, flexibility, generosity, sensitivity, okay? So this is what we need to practice for this pronunciation topic. So practice these words and remember that when the noun ends in ity, you must stress the syllable before that one, okay? So we're gonna continue with the next topic, which is a listening and speaking topic. In this listening topic, we have in the exercise 1, before you listen to the radio show, read the sayings 1 to 5, work with a partner, and discuss questions A and B below. So you're gonna call your classmates and you're gonna read these sayings and discuss what do you think these sayings mean? Do you have any similar sayings in your language? Okay, so call them and do the exercise. Once you're done, we're gonna move on to the exercise number 2, where you have to listen to a radio show about law of attraction. And they ask us, according to Dr. Hudson, how is law of attraction similar to a genie? So I'm gonna play the audio and please pay attention.
Track 2.18.
Now, you may or may not have read the best-selling self-help book, The Secret. but almost 2 million people have. And the movie version has sold 1.5 million copies to date. To tell us what all the fuss is about, we have with us in the studio today psychologist and expert in the law of attraction, Dr. Rick Hudson. Welcome.
Thank you. I'm pleased to be here.
Dr. Hudson, the secret is based on the law of attraction, the idea that like attracts like. This isn't a new phenomenon, is it?
No, not at all. The theory behind the law of attraction has been around for ages, but it is the recent success of The Secret that has brought it to the attention of so many people around the world.
What exactly is the law of attraction?
Well, put simply, the law of attraction is all about positive thinking. We attract things we want, and we also attract things we don't want. So if you were the sort of person who was always cheerful and optimistic, you would give off good vibrations. And these good vibes would in turn attract positive energy, and good things would happen to you. Similarly, a stressed out kind of person would put out stressed vibes, and they would attract more stress into their lives. Whatever you are thinking and feeling at any given time is basically your request to the universe for more of the same.
So how can you apply this theory, this positive thinking, to your everyday life?
You can use it to make some very positive changes in your life. It depends what you want.
Where do I start?
Well, let me give you a very simple example. Okay, let's suppose you're on your way to the grocery store on a Saturday morning. So you're arriving pretty much at the same time as several hundred other shoppers. The one thing that would improve your life at that moment is a parking space. So you start focusing on that space. You visualize the ideal parking space right near the entrance, and you imagine yourself swinging into the space as you arrive.
Okay, I like that image.
And to make the positive vibrations really work for you, you need to imagine how you would feel if you already had that space.
I see.
Imagine that you already had that space. How would you be feeling?
Amazed?
Right. So you're still in your car on the way to the grocery store, but you're saying to yourself, I'm so happy I found a space. I'm delighted and grateful that I found a parking space so close to the entrance. It works. Try it.
I must say, it sounds too good to be true. Suppose I really wanted a $10 million house with a swimming pool. Would I just think about it and hey, presto, it would materialize?
Well, if you wanted to start living your life according to the law of attraction, you'd have to learn a few simple techniques, and these are explained in The Secret. But basically, if that's what you really want, then yes, you can make it happen.
But don't you think it encourages people to be more materialistic? I mean, I don't need a house with a swimming pool. Isn't that just being plain greedy?
Listen, I'll give you another example. Imagine that a genie appeared in front of you and offered to grant your wishes. Would you ask for something small, say a new bicycle? No, you'd be asking for bigger things, a business, a soulmate, $1 million. The law of attraction is like a genie. And here's why it's important to think big. There is so much that can be improved in the world. There is much more you can contribute, but you cannot do this by being mediocre. You owe it not just to yourself, but also to the world to think big.
Well, thank you, Dr. Hudson.
Okay, now that you listened to the radio show, answer the question that you have in the exercise 2. Once that you have answered, let's move on to the exercise number 3. That says, listen again. For questions 1 to 7, choose the best options, A, B, or C. So you're gonna read these questions and you're gonna choose the best answer according to the audio. You can play the audio again if necessary, take your time and do it. Well done. If you finish, now we're gonna continue with the next question. It says, do you believe in the law of attraction? Why or why not? Tell a partner, okay? So you're gonna discuss this question with your teams, okay? So do it. If you finish, we'll move on to the next section, which is a grammar. Let's see. In the first exercise, it says complete the questions with would or where. Before explaining the grammar topic, I want you to do this exercise. Then I will tell you why these are the correct answers. Done? Very good. Here are the answers. Good job. Now, in the next exercise says work with a partner and underline the words you can use instead of if. For example, in the letter A it says if you were able to change 3 things in your life, what will they be? We have the word if, but in letter B we don't have the word be. It says suppose somebody were to give you a check for any amount you liked. How much would you ask for that and what would you do with it? Which of the words in the letter B you think can be used instead of if? Very good. Suppose. You can say if somebody were to give you, it's the same as saying suppose somebody were to give you. And like this with this word, we have suppose, imagine, supposing, assuming. Why is this? Well, let's take a look to the explanation of the topic. Today's topic is unreal conditional structures. As you can see, we're going to talk about hypothetical situations, unreal situations. For example, imagine you were rich. Suppose you had millions. Assuming you were to make a will. So these are unreal situations. And then we have a question. Who would you leave your money to? Now, in order to do this type of structures, we need two important things. The first one is an unreal situation, like the one that we already mentioned here. Imagine you were rich, imagine you had millions, assuming you were to make a will, and then we divide that idea with a comma, and the next idea is a question in an unreal situation. So first, we set up the context, we say the unreal situation, and then we make a question, obviously talking about that unreal situation. For example, we can use if. This is the most common because we have the conditional. If you were rich, if you had a new car, if you had studied another career. You can also use imagine, suppose, supposing, and assuming that. Okay, so you're gonna start the sentence with any of these right here. Then, when you have the unreal situation, you're gonna write a comma and then a question word. For example, imagine you studied another career and then the question word. What would you have studied? Okay, that is an unreal situation. Then, very important, when you say this question, you have to use the question word and the words would, might, or could. Any of these. Let's take a look to an example. Imagine you won the lottery. So we're talking about an unreal situation. This is unreal because you haven't won the lottery. So, but imagine you won the lottery. Then we need a question word. What? And then the rest of the sentence is going to start with one of these words. What would you do first? It's very important to say would because this is imaginary. You cannot say what will you do because this is not real. What would you do first? Another example is this. Supposing you could travel to any place you want, unreal situation, where, question word, would you go to? This is a question in an unreal situation. Where would you go to? Supposing you could travel to any place you want, where would you go to? So you have one and could in simple past. This is very important because in unreal situations you must use past tense. You can use simple past like we have here, but you can also use past perfect, past progressive, where to. Where to is like saying about to, but in an unreal situation or in past. Imagine you were to travel. to a place, to another city. Imagine you were to make a will. So it's like saying about to. And you can also say might. And that's it that you need to know about this topic. Just to write first an unreal situation and then a question in that unreal situation. Very important to use one of these words. You can use that. Also, imagine that you want, supposing that you could travel. And very important that you say this verb in past tense. It can be any of these past tenses, but it has to be in past because it's imaginary. Then for the question, well, you just need a question word like any question, but you have to use would, might, or could. Okay? If there's no questions, let's continue. Now, in this exercise, in the exercise number 2, it says, work with your partner. Complete the questions with your own ideas. So here we have the first part of the unreal situation structure. We have the unreal situation. We are missing the question. Like in letter A, imagine you could change places with a celebrity for a day. So this is the unreal situation. And you have to complete with a question. For example, I could say, imagine you could change places with a celebrity for a day. Who will it be? Okay, so I wrote this question, but you can write any that you wish. Okay, like that. Do it like this. Just remember to use the question word, would, could, or might, and then the rest of the question. The letter B says, suppose you could afford to have any car in the world. What color would you buy it? Or any other question that you can think of. So do it, complete the questions. Then when you finish, you're gonna use your questions to interview another people in the class. So in your teams, call them and ask them the questions you wrote. Remember to tell them about the unreal situation. Finish? Okay, let's continue. Now for the last exercise of today, we have the speaking anecdote. It says, you're going to tell your partner about the most positive or negative person you know. So first you have to ask yourself these questions. Who is this person? A teacher, a boss, a member of a family? You have to think of the answer. You don't have to write it. You can take notes if you wish, but it's not necessary. But you have to think of the answer because then you're gonna think about what to say and how to say it. And finally, you're gonna tell your partner about this person. Okay, so do it, and that's gonna be it for today. I hope that you understood everything. If you didn't, you can send me a message and I can help you. Okay, so see you tomorrow. Bye.